FSN Radio. It's all about what's next. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and sign up for your free weekly newsletter. You'll also get 3 free reports. The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.
Welcome. You are listening to the Financial Survival Network. I'm Kerry Lutz, and today is November 15th, 2019. Well, I'm sure you've been hearing a lot about CBD, which is, I guess you would say, is a byproduct of both the cannabis plant and the hemp plant. It is not psychoactive, but we'll get more into that later. If you've had experience with CBD, if you know something about it or you have questions, why don't you send me an email? The email address is kl@kerrylutz.com. Well, someone who does know a lot about CBD is Jay Grover. And Jay, your site is myhealthetc, as in etc.com. Welcome to the show. So tell us about CBD. What is it and why is it so good?
Sure. Well, thanks for having me, Terry. CBD itself, actually, CBD, CBN, CGN, there's over 100 of these things in these plants, and they're called cannabinoids. About 30 years ago, scientists discovered that all mammals, we all have an endocannabinoid system. So we have a system for these. If we've never used CBD products or marijuana, we still have these cannabinoids in our body. Our body manufactures them. It just doesn't do a good job.
Okay, so it's something that the body seems to want, since we have a system for handling it, and therefore we've got to get it in the form of supplements, in the truest sense of the word. And so we can get it from the hemp plant and from the from cannabis, sativa and indica, I assume. And what is the benefit of it? Do we know that it really helps? Are there studies out there, clinical trials, that have proven this?
Well, studies and trials are happening all the time. It is emerging science. There are some things we do know. This endocannabinoid system that scientists discovered about 30 years ago, they didn't understand what it did or how it functioned. They didn't pay that much attention. They've also taught us forever that communication in the body is electrical from the brain. The brain tells everything what to do. Well, they're finding that that's not the whole truth. This endocannabinoid system that we have is a communication system, and it's a chemical system, and it's made up of receptors. There are CB1 and CB2 receptors in the brain and immune system. What happens is over a period of time, say maybe disease, injury, environmental chemicals, some of the receptors in these systems are not communicating. They get locked up. This system's job is to regulate our entire body. It's connected to every other system in the body: bones, muscle, metabolism, digestion, heart, eyes, everything. But when it's not functioning, it's not regulating, then we're not functioning right. So when we put these cannabinoids into our body, basically scientists say, think of it as building a freeway. It creates an environment for your body to function better, helps create homeostasis or feeling of well-being. So these cannabinoids go in and they open these receptors that haven't been communicating, and they start communicating. When that happens, the body starts making corrections. That's why it works for so many different things. We'll have folks come in and they'll say, if I can just get rid of this pain, I'd be golden. So once we get them started on a program with the oil, it's not unusual for them to come back later and say, my anxiety's gone, or I'm sleeping better, or my arthritis is more fluid, because it's helping the entire body to function.
Okay, so, the thing here is, and I believe that, Jay, the cannabis plant has deliberately not been studied for the past 80-odd years since the prohibition of marijuana was rammed through Congress, and for various reasons that we don't need to get into. But now, everywhere I turn, there are new claims, all unsubstantiated, that CBD will cure virtually anything that ails you. What realistically can CBD do for you? I don't believe necessarily that it's going to cure cancer. I haven't met anybody who said, I took X milligrams of CBD per day and it cured my cancer. Tell me, what is it capable of doing and what isn't it?
Well, what we're seeing is a lot of help with anxiety, We have a lot of PTSD patients. Mostly what we hear is feedback from our clients. A good place to look for studies is towards the country of Israel. They're very large in the study of CBD and cannabinoids, as well as Germany. So the science is emerging, but for most of our clients, we're seeing a lot of comments on helping to alleviate anxiety, stress, helping people sleep, easing up on maybe the arthritis. At this point in time, I don't know if anybody can say it's curing anything, but it sure is improving quality of life.
So is it a placebo and a good placebo, or what? How does it lessen symptoms? What types of symptoms besides anxiety? I have heard of it for back pain, people using it and reporting back favorably, even though it's anecdotal.
Well, let's say, for instance, we've had some back surgery, back pain, knee pain. We use any of those other products, icy hot, capsaicin, I don't care, name one. Those will go to the receptors that we were talking about earlier, and they even say it in their advertising. It blocks them, and that's what helps us limp by. CBD is very different. We put a good salve or a body butter on. It goes to those receptors and opens them and makes them function. There is some science out there. There are some completed studies, but it's emerging every day. And they're also finding that some of the other CGN and CBN, some of the other cannabinoids can be very beneficial as well. But again, it's emerging science.
It's emerging, so we're just going to have to wait. The studies, the thing is that CBD, there's not a huge profit in it. So you can't expect big pharma to be doing major double-blind studies on it. It's going to have to be picked up by others in the sector, as well as perhaps the government. Is this going to be a problem? I
don't think so, because I think, frankly, the big pharma, there isn't money in it for them, and that's what they're afraid of. There's already been a drug that's approved for epilepsy, and it's also been approved by the FDA. The unfortunate thing is that they came out and said, we found this substance in marijuana or hemp that is non-psychoactive that seems to help with convulsions and epilepsy. So we've taken it and we've added it to older epileptic drugs. There's no reason for that. You can see videos all day long on the internet of kids with epilepsy taking CBD straight from the plant and getting results. So I just don't see the reason for adding older prescriptions or pharmaceuticals to something that works naturally and is clean. So this is viable, and big pharma is taking a look at this, and we need to be a little concerned about that.
Well, but we do see that there are a lot of old drugs that, when combined with new drugs and combined with old ones, that it does amplify the effect. So maybe it's not such a bad thing that big pharma is doing that. Obviously, if its results are much better than just CBD alone, we'd want to know that, right?
Yes, we do want to know that. And I would like to myself take a look at some of those studies and see if they are actually better than just natural organic CBD.
Yeah. So
that hasn't been proven to me yet.
Mm-hmm. And that's why we have these studies, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if, for instance, can you tell us people you've seen helped with CBD from your own experience?
FSN Radio. It's all about what's next.
Silver One Resources is an exploration and development company backed by strategic investors Eric Sprott and SSR Mining. The company is focused on its Candelaria mine project in Nevada, where there is already a historic resource estimated at 127 million ounces of silver. The Candelaria mine historically was the highest grade silver producer in Nevada, generating over 68 million ounces of silver at an amazing average production rate of over 1,250 grams per ton. The project has tremendous expansion potential, as past drilling has outlined deeper, high-grade silver targets for future drill programs. Silver One is highly leveraged to the price of silver and is cashed up and poised to increase shareholder value. Silver One trades in New York under the ticker SLVRF and in Toronto under the ticker SVE. To learn more, go to silverone.com. That's silverone.com.
The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.
Absolutely. We have a good-sized roster of repeat customers. I think if it was placebo, they'd probably figure it out after a couple of weeks. So we have a lot of repeat customers. The thing that's important to remember about CBD and getting benefits is that it's very dose-specific to the individual. We'll have folks that call us up, email us, or come in and say, yeah, I got a tincture of it. I did a couple squirts. It seemed to do something, but now it's not working. CBD is very dose-specific, and there really isn't anybody right now that can tell you, hey, Terry, you need to take this much, or he needs to take that much. We have to start with what's called an up-titration method, where we start low and slow and find our dosage amount, because it all depends on the cannabinoids that your body is deficient in. Everybody's going to be a little bit different. So how we use CBD is very important. If we get too much, it goes back on itself and stops working. If we get too much, it's not going to hurt us, but it can make us feel tired and wiped out. It can make us feel grouchy, kind of edgy. It can give us an upset tummy. IBS patients could see a softer stool. Parkinson's patients could get additional tremors. Those are signs that we're getting too much, and we need to back off until those signs go away. So it's very important to get educated and learn how to use it properly.
All right. What about the method of ingestion, whether it's a suspension, a tincture, whether it's capsules? Have we made any progress on that front?
Well, I think what we're finding is that with tinctures or with oil under the tongue is probably one of the better ways to start, because it's controllable and trackable. So we can start low with, like I was saying, an up-titration method. Let's say we do 1 drop 3 times a day. We would do that for about a week or so. During that time, we evaluate. Am I getting any benefit, tired, cranky, or upset tummy? If we answer no to those questions, then we go to 2, and we evaluate. And so that's kind of how we build ourselves up and find what we call a sweet spot, or the dosage that's right for us.
All right. And so there's a ton of this going on. You see it in multi-level marketing. I mean, it's sweeping the country. Everywhere you go, it's on the radio, it's on TV. What warnings can you give to people when they hear these messages and about claiming remarkable results without necessarily having any factual basis?
Sure. Well, I think it's very important. For me, there's 4 very important things about this product. The first 2 would be, where is it grown and harvested? The second would be, how is it extracted and bottled? Is it tested? Most of the brands that we carry, actually all the brands that we carry, are certified by the US Hemp Authority, which are industry folks. It's the only authority that's gotten together to try to regulate this industry. Hemp and marijuana both are what's called bioaccumulators. And what that means is when we plant them, they suck up everything in the soil, heavy metals, pesticides, everything. Since we know that, we know China, Indonesia, and Taiwan grow a lot of hemp. And I don't know about you, but I'm not real excited about putting any of that in or on me. Most of the hemp for these products, good quality products, is coming from the European Union, Netherlands, France, Denmark, places like that, which is good for us. They have no GMOs. They're very particular about what goes in the soil. So when everything's grown and harvested, it's clean, pure, and organic. The next thing we have to be concerned about is how is it extracted and bottled. The marijuana states have grown more marijuana than everybody can smoke in 40 years. They just found 85 dispensaries in Colorado where the weed had mold. So a lot of those guys, the growers and dispensaries, are losing money. They see as a way out is making CBD. The problem with that is it takes a machine, a very large machine that's very expensive. When they don't have that, they soak it in an industrial chemical, ethanol, acetone, butane, something like that. They say they clean it up afterwards. It's very difficult to do, and I doubt they get it clean. The products that we carry are only using a CO2 critical extraction process, which actually gets more of the nutrients and good things out of the plant than a chemical process. And it's a food grade. There's no chemicals at all. It's temperature and pressure. So everything that comes out of that plant, again, is healthy, preserved, and useful for us. So we need to be careful that we're not getting it at the gas station, at the county fair, down on the square, that kind of a thing. We need to go to a reputable place with US Hemp Authority certified oils. So those are the 2 most important things. The other 2 would be finding that sweet spot and staying consistent. I've had people take a tincture home, call me that afternoon and say, I feel 75% better. Other people, myself included, it was 2.5 months to 3 months before I noticed any difference. For some people, it can come on like gangbusters. For others, it takes a little while to build those levels up and get them functioning.
I see. So emerging science, we need more research on it. Try it, but make sure that you're wary of where it comes from. Just like you wouldn't be taking vitamins that were made in China, you probably don't want to be taking CBD that's extracted in Asia in very polluted areas. So you should stick to CBD that's extracted in Europe, I guess Canada, maybe some places in the US, but be wary.
Yes, be very wary.
All right. And so right now, the only means of knowing how good the CBD is or that it meets standards is when it's certified by this Hemp Growers Association.
Yes, look for that US Hemp Authority certification seal. And when manufacturers go through that process, it's a pretty lengthy process. They have to follow good manufacturing, good labeling, guaranteed what's in the bottle. A few months back, Penn State did a study, and they bought 80 different products from, I think, 30 different vendors online. They tested what was in the bottle and what was on the label. 70% of what they bought failed, had heavy metals, pesticides, those kinds of things. So we need to make sure that we're in a reputable shop with US Hemp Authority certified oil.
All right, US Hemp Authority. So look for the golden label, as they say, US Hemp Authority seal of approval, because then you'll know that it, whether it's going to help you or not, at least you know there's not going to be contaminants in there and other things that can really set you back, which would be counterproductive. So, hey, Jay, really appreciate you coming on and helping to educate us about CBD, which would something that could be very promising. So just tell us again your website and where we find you.
Sure, that would be www.myhealthetc.com. And you can give us a call with a toll-free number, or you can log on, shoot us an email. We're here for you.
Excellent. And we'll have a link to that. Hey, guys, questions for Jay, myself, you can also email me, kl@kerrylutz.com. Tell us your thoughts, your experiences. Has CBD helped you in treating chronic ailments, epilepsy, and other things, back pain? I had a friend, he swore by it. He was getting the tincture from a place here in Broward County, Florida, and met all the purity standards. He swore by it. I don't know myself. I've never utilized it and have no idea whether it works or not. Thank goodness I don't need it. Questions or comments, again, kl@kerrylutz.com. Twitter feeds @KerryLutz. Facebook page is Financial Survival Network. Go over to our YouTube channel. Leave some comments there. Leave some comments on the website, Financial Survival Network. Jay, really appreciate you coming on.
Thank you, Kerry. I appreciate your time. You have a great day.
FSN Radio. It's all about what's next. Go to financialsurvivalnetwork.com and sign up for your free weekly newsletter. You'll also get 3 free reports. The Financial Survival Network. It's all about what's next.